Hello, friends. Happy Sunday evening. It's nice to be here with you. I hope that you had a chance to have the sunlight on your face today and feel the warmth on your skin. To know that just sitting in that moment, allowing that feeling to resonate. I hope you're able to practice that today. I know for me, the last time that I was called to be still and quiet was when my family endured trauma in 2003. And it absolutely obliterated my whole world, our whole world, rocked everything to the ground. And I literally didn't know if I was coming or going, and I had no idea how to do it. I had no clue what was coming. There was no handbook in any of it. I do know that it reached me on a deep soul level to places in caverns and in darkness, really, that I never want for myself and or any other person to feel. And all I knew at the time was that I needed to start putting pieces back together, and I needed how to figure out how to take my next step and my next step and my next step. And there were moments when it was pretty bleak, and I didn't think I'd smile again, and I certainly didn't believe that I'd laugh again and experience life and joy. Yet every day I woke up with a purpose. To laugh every day, to find a reason to laugh, to make myself get into that place of allowing that resonance of laughter, the vibration of laughter that breaks up the monotony of life and allows me to feel joy in that moment. And then to help myself cry in the idea of feeling the feelings. Feeling the feelings no matter what they were, just as they come up, allow them to be there. And at that point in time, I was the feeling. There was no recognition for me that I was the watcher of that feeling, not the experience itself. But as time went on, I started to learn how to distance myself just that tiny bit to go, I'm no longer that feeling, and what I'm feeling, defeated, depressed, anxiety, stressed, whatever the feeling was. I stopped identifying that I was the feeling, and I started practicing watching the feeling. Now, granted, at that point in time, it was very easy to dip back into the heavy depression and the sort of foggy mind and the numbness and the avoidance, because I was a mom of 3 young kids, and I had to, on a daily basis, just keep the pace, keep something going, that there was some sort of normalcy. But the things that I instilled in those moments when I took those steps, I see 15 and 20 years later, the ripple effect of what that is within my kids, who are genuinely kind and considerate and loving human beings, and for all intents purposes should not be. They should be statistics, and they're not. They're leading full, comprehensive, abundant, expansive, loving lives, meaningful. And it is so amazing to watch and see that at one point in time, what was a wish, which was something that I desired for their future, I now 15, 20 years later can measure where we've come from and where we are now, in the idea that at one point in time these were wishes, hopes, and dreams, where I was building my faith in that direction, and I had no clue how it was going to turn out. I was going on blind faith. And it really took me aback just how long that process was, in a 15-year span. But it was every day just getting up and doing one thing towards what it is that I say that I wanted. And as I made those choices, those things naturally began to turn and shift, and things would fit together and then they would fall apart again, and then they would go back together in a different way. And it was my dedication to continually walking my path, continually uncovering the stuff that I needed to take a look at, my willingness to be vulnerable in those moments and to feel some heavy grief. And so I equate all of those things to sort of where I am right now, in that feeling of, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. I've got no secure answer on, there certainly is no handbook on how we do this. And there's proclamations over here and proclamations over here of the right way to do things. And the problem with that is that there is not one hard and fast answer. There's not one hard and fast rule. We can't say about across the board, everybody to stay at home 24 hours a day, because sometimes that's not feasible for some people. It's not realistic. But what I see sometimes is a lot of judgment in the areas of, well, what are you doing and why are you doing it and why are you buying that and what did you do today, and always pointing this finger at what it's so easy to do, to be in judgment about what's going on out there. But here's the deal, that I don't actually know. That I think that I know, that I make a lot of assumptions that I know, but I may not know what's actually going on. And so ultimately, that out there is none of my business. My business is here, right here. And as long as I continue to carve out some time for myself, as long as I continue to be curious about things, as long as I continue to walk my path intuitively. So there's something that my neighbor may feel intuitively drawn to that doesn't feel like that to me. It doesn't make him or her right and me wrong. It makes it different. And what I'm learning to do is to lean into my intuition, to really sit in it and sense and feel whether or not I'm feeling pulled towards something or repulsed, or, to back away from it. And I think that's what we're, doing, is tuning in to ourselves. No one else can tell you this answer. We have our own answers. They're right here. So today when I pulled the fairy wishing well again, manifestation, expectations, and offerings. When I was talking earlier about, there was a time when these were only things that I wished for 20 years later. They were things that I hoped for. And the truth is, because I built my faith in the direction of the things that I wanted, not a perfect science by any stretch. It was not, regal and uniform and unmessy. It was the complete opposite of that. And I continued, when I found myself off track, to continue to bring myself on track. It's a choice that I made. And sure, there were times when I could have been doing it faster, better, different. But the truth is, I did it the way that I did it, when I did it, how I did it. And judging myself now for doing it wrong or incorrectly or not fast enough doesn't do anything. Spending time in that place negates the fact that I can't go back and change the past, that all I have is right here in front of me. And what I'm trying to do on a daily basis is stay out of this place where I'm rigid and I'm really unsure and I don't know and everything feels nervous and stressed, to, right, I'm trusting the process. I am trusting the process. What do I want? These are the things that I want to manifest: peace, love, expansion, an open heart. I want to see kindness flourish. And for all of those reasons, the more and more time that I spend internally looking for those things within myself. So for me, meditation, the longer time that I spend meditating and putting myself in front of information that lends to the place where I want to be. Calm, peaceful. Then I get to not only do that for myself, but it affects absolutely everything I do and everyone around me, which is pretty magical. The second card that I pulled was these 3 graces. Now this is a card, again, that I've pulled, in the last couple of days, but, effectively joint ventures, a coming together of people, places, and things that will support me on my path. And today when I was meditating, it was the mantra of just allowing, and tapping into infinite source. Abundance was the thing today. And I've always had sort of blocks and resistance to abundance because I didn't feel like I deserved more. I don't even know, but I tell you, moving into a place of freedom around that and thinking, if there is infinite source, then it is my God-given right, as it is yours, to tap into that, whatever that looks like, and surrendering it. I did a lot of surrendering today, and just surrendering to what is and how I'm feeling, and the thoughts as they come. And instead of calling myself bad or wrong or, here we go again, to really be kind and gentle with myself and understanding, because I think that's important right now. And the third card that I pulled today was Child of the Moon, transcending the ego and forgiveness work. What I was reminded of is that I am carrying the grudges and resentments from people's behaviors that I thought should have been behaving differently towards me, or around me, or about me, or towards me, or for me, or against me, in some cases. And the truth is, I don't get to control what they did, how they feel about it. I do get to control my response, and at this point in time, I'm the one carrying that burden. And it's heavy, and it's unnecessary. So it says to do a ceremony to let that go. I've done this many times, but here's the truth is, there's always another layer, there's always another layer, there's always another layer. It's like you peel back a veil, and then, all of a sudden there's another veil to peel back. And instead of having the attitude of, oh my God, when is this going to end? This onion is just never ending. Peel, 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 peel. To, what a lovely opportunity to take another look at something that I'm taking a look at. It's an offering, an opportunity. It is, if we frame it as such. My hope is that you do take a look at it like that. Reframe. It's an opportunity. I hope you take it. I hope you loved yourself today. I hope you found joy, laughter, excitement, the sunshine. Take a deep breath. And know that you are loved. See you tomorrow.